See two idiot NRIs from Canada.
We'll keep that one. like the no, not that.
Thanks everyone. Like, subscribe. What do people say? Comment.
Go on.
Hi everyone. We're two idiot NRIs, and today we're reacting to.
So we're reacting to the trailer for the new Ramayana by Namit Malhotra. So this is it seems like it's a pretty big production. I've heard it's one of the highest budget movies in India of all time.
Oh, nice.
And this is what we've always wanted to see, right? Like we grew up watching the 1987 Mahabharata and like all that stuff. We always wanted like this to get the big production it deserved. So this has like Hans Zimmer doing the music and like really, really big Western composer, A.R Rahman, Ranbir Kapoor. And,
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Nice. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, so that was really cool. You can kind of tell like it's all high quality, not like a cheap production. And just A.R Rahman and Hans Zimmer together is like so overpowered to have both of them, like both spheres of the world, like what some of the best composers in one.
Right.
So I feel like the music is going to do a lot of heavy lifting for this, and I'm really excited for that.
And it sounded amazing.
Yeah,
like
right.
You know, that's one of the big things in like movies and shows is like the soundtrack and the background score. So yeah, really looking forward to hearing more. Yeah.
Right.
Anything else?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Like you said, I'm really excited because we grew up watching, as you said, like the late 80s Mahabharata, the B.R. Chopra, I think, Mahabharata. We watched like Ramayana, Love Kush, like all of it, and we loved it. Like that's what we grew up on, and like the Vishnu Puran, I think, and like there was the Krishna series. Like there's so many, and like we watched it on repeat. I have to say, like Ramayana, I think I've only watched it like once or twice. Like we watched it less than like
Mahabharat, we just kept watching
Yeah,
it.
Mahabharat, we just kept watching.
That's probably why we speak fluent Hindi is like Mahabharat. And
Yeah,
yeah.
and like I've always felt like more of a connection with like Krishna and like the story of Mahabharat.
Yeah.
But I really want to watch this. I'm super excited for it, and I'm so glad, like you said, our epics and a lot of our like history deserve like big productions that will reach wider audience. And so I'm really excited about this, and I feel like I would like to see in the future more collaboration, right, between like different parts of the world. And so I'm really glad that in the music it seems like there's a collaboration between like East and West, and I hope to see like future big budget movies coming out of India, and even shows, right, like coming out of India that are about our epics, that are about our histories, our warriors, our heroes, with collaboration from the West, because there's a lot to learn from each other. And like we've always secretly wanted like a Game of Thrones level or like Lord of the Rings level production of like Mahabharata and Ramayana. So this seems to be like a good.
It could be getting there. Right?
Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, so that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've kind of fallen off with like the Gen Z actors, but like Ranbir Kapoor, everyone knows, is pretty big. Sai Pallavi, I've only seen a little bit about. I saw like a reel about like.
Oh, okay.
She's a really good classical dancer, and
nice.
like the reel was just about like other main actresses. They'll be wearing like the bright color, and the background actresses are like not. But she just like wears the same color as them and still dominates the screen.
Okay.
So I'll put that in there. But.
కురిపించవే కరుణాంబురాసి ధీం తారా ధీం ధీం తారా జతులతో ప్రాణమే నాట్యం చేసే గతులతో నామశతం నా ఆలోచనే నిరంతరం నీకు నివాళినివ్వాలని నాలో ఆవేదనే నువ్వు ఆదరించేలా నివేదనవ్వాలని
Might have a little crush on her, but anything else?
Yeah, Ranbir Kapoor. So I thought that's an interesting choice for Ram. I generally feel that with our epics, I feel it's nicer to have actors that aren't in Bollywood, right? Like the Mahabharat that we watched in the late 80s and the Mahabharat that came out in 2013, I think on Star Plus, they didn't have like Bollywood big sort of actors, right? It was like theater actors or like actors that have been in TV shows and things like that. And I like that because
they became big because of the Mahabharata.
Yeah, they became big because of Mahabharata or Ramayana, and I like that because then you don't have that preconceived almost, like notion of the actor, and you're like seeing them almost for the first time as like Krishna or Ram or whatever, Arjun and all the other characters. However, Ranbir Kapoor, like you can't deny, he is a great and versatile actor.
He's very charming and like dominates the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vivek Oberoi hasn't been in movies for like a long time, right?
Yeah, it looks like Vivek Oberoi's in here. I think he's done like TV shows, and he's actually gotten like good success with some TV shows. But yeah, looking forward to seeing him in it. On the Ranbir Kapoor side, like, you know, he can do a lot of things. Like he can do like serious roles, he can do comedy. So I do think that like maybe he's like one of the ones in Bollywood that could play around. So looking forward to like how he does it.
And now that this stuff is like coming back and getting big budgets and stuff, there have been other like really high budget movies out of India that I didn't really care for. Like there was like Bahubali, but like it just, I think the second one actually reviewed much better than the first one, and I haven't seen the second one yet. But like I watched the first like 20 minutes of it, and it just felt a bit cheap to me. And the same with like Kalki, which was like another like big budget one. But like this seems like it's crossing the hurdle to like to getting to the point of being really good. Like this looks like a lot of care and love what was put into it. The music is amazing. The visuals look amazing. Really hopeful that this turns out good.
Right, and that's what you want, right? You want people associated with a project that, you know, that understand really well like the history and like the text. So the Ramayana, and also bring with them like a love for like the material and the art as well. So
and that's what it was with the 1987 one. Like there was obviously no CGI. Like they'd have big like foam arrows going into people and like stuff like that. And we loved it, right? Because the director and the actors and the set producers and like everyone clearly loved the source material, and that's what made the difference. Really, really hoping this makes it there.
Right, and even the 2013 version of Mahabharat, like again, it's not as high tech as like it could be with like more a bigger budget, you know, a bigger production, but like you could tell they really, all of the actors, the director, the writers, everyone was so, you know, like so passionate about telling the Mahabharata, and like it worked. People thought that after the 89 version, like no one could ever compare to that version, and it's true, like that's a classic. But like we were surprised at like how good this like the more recent version was. So anyways, looking forward to watching the Ramayana. I think there was another thing I really liked at the end, how it said like our truth, our history. So
of like 2.5 billion people, as it says,
right? I like that because, you know, we do think like this is our history, you know, like
this doesn't get told through Western media, Hollywood, like that sort of thing. So like this is like us being like, now we can make this ourselves.
Right. And it's not mythology, which like people used to say, I feel like, oh, it's like it's our mythology, but it's, you know, it is our history.
Right.
And there is a lot of evidence that supports that. And we recently watched several like videos and interviews of people who study, like try to look for evidence about like how long ago like the Ramayana and Mahabharata happened, based on like astrological like observance and evidence, and other evidence like geological and things like that, and based on that evidence, like they triangulate evidence, and based on that, they think Ramayana actually happened around, I think, is it 14,000 years ago? Like it's very, like it's ancient, like very, like long, and Mahabharata, I think maybe 7,000 years ago. So
and like because these stories describe the star patterns, like where they were when they like certain events were happening, so you can date it back. And so for a long time that was dismissed because like it didn't really match up. But then like as science moved on, we realized that there's a thing called precession, where the Earth is also like wobbling in relation to its axis and like things like that. So if you calculate that way backwards, these star patterns were actually accurate.
Yeah.
So they're saying that like this happened at this time, and you can tell because we're describing the star patterns, so you can date us backwards and like figure this out, right?
Yeah. As well as geological evidence,
Yeah.
such as, you know, certain rivers being present at a certain time that, you know, are no longer present, but like we still see evidence of them drying up, like Saraswati.
We had a much longer rant about this in our J
Yes.
Slap video, so
Yeah.
please go watch that as well.
Yeah.
But I think we'll keep this one short and react to a few more short
it
trailers.
looks really good. It's like a first look, and it doesn't show like the actors, like it doesn't show the scenes, but it shows like
I think a bit.
I like how they did the first look. It keeps it, you know, like it keeps us like wanting more, and I think it's supposed to come out in 2026. So I think they're gonna give us like little tidbits until like it comes out. So yeah, I am really looking forward to it.
Cool. Okay, so part 1 Diwali 2026, part 2 Diwali 2027.
That's good.
That's going to be like such an event in India.
Yeah. I actually like that they're doing in parts, because sometimes if it's just one, like it feels like it's too much in one movie.
Yeah.
But like if they do it in parts, like I feel like they can cover more things, like they can do more character development and things like that, like in each part. I feel like that's going to be really exciting. Also, Nitesh Tiwari, I think he's the director. And I think, and he's done Dango as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think there is one more thing, like, sort of going on here is that, like, Bollywood had been kind of in decline and, like, it wasn't doing these kind of movies. And the more interesting things were coming like from South India. Like I've heard Telugu movies have been doing really well, and like smaller productions that are not Bollywood. So this seems like a kind of return that they're like, oh, like people are not interested in like the cheap crap we're putting out anymore, and like we're gonna go for high quality. So yeah, like really hopeful that this is like the biggest movie India's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the material, like the subject deserves that, right? And you're right. I think a lot of stuff coming out of Bollywood was just so disconnected from like the real India and the regional films, and we've seen some of them as well, right? Like regional films have been doing a lot better because they're so much more connected to like Indian values and culture, and they actually celebrate it instead of like denigrating it, which like Bollywood had been doing for a long time. And more recently, I have seen more collaboration between like Hindi cinema and regional cinema, and it seems like with Ramayana, there's like Ranbir Kapoor and Sunny Deol as Hanuman, which actually I'm really excited to see. I think he'll do a good job. But also like some South Indian actors as well. So it looks like it's a collaboration between the two. And yeah, I hope this is a lesson for Bollywood, you know, like you should celebrate our culture, our history, and you'll do well. Because like all of the nationalist films that have come out that celebrate India, that tell our real story, right? Like those have been doing really well.
Yeah.
So.
Right. hopefully this is a return to
Wow,
form.
that looks so cool.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just scrolling through the IMDb pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah.
Next
So-
Diwali! Yay!
So be sure to.
Subscribe, like, comment.